children. Here you see, we are to discuss about chapter 3, human reproduction for your class 8 science. Okay, it's a part of biology. So we will start with the introduction. Now what is reproduction, you know? Reproduction is keeping the generation. Because if the generation is not kept, the earth will have no living organisms. Because all the living organisms they reproduce. Animals, plants, microbes, everybody. So here we have to discuss about the reproduction in animals. Well, you see, we have two kinds of reproduction, process of reproduction, two ways. One is by asexual process, and the one is by sexual process. In asexual process, there are the lower animals, so they directly divide themselves from the cells, like amoeba and all this. They divide by binary fission and also by multiple fission. In binary fission, they just divide, when the cell is matured, they divide the cell into two daughter cells. And that is how they do. In multiple fission, sometimes these unicellular organisms get unfavorable conditions. That time, they can form a cyst around them, CH-3 cyst around them, and they stay inside that. And as they stay inside that, they never stay quiet. They start dividing themselves and wait for the favorable conditions to come. In the meantime, the favorable conditions come, they come out as many. So that is why it is known as multiple fission. So all this, the sexual reproduction, the asexual reproduction, here only single cell is required, single mother is required, single parent is required. So that is why asexual reproduction. Coming to sexual reproduction, here two parents are required. One is male and one is female. Right? So many organisms have the sexual reproduction, like dog, cow, etc. But here we will discuss about the human reproduction. In human, we are the unisexual animals. Our male and female is different. So our reproductive system, male reproductive system, female reproductive system. But the rather they are known as the male urinary system and female urinary system. Because the system helps in urination also, and the genital process is also going on. So sexual process and as well as the urination goes on. That is why they are known as the urogenital system. Well, we are the two individuals, the male and female, and the male reproductive system are as follows. It's given over here. You see, male reproductive system consists of two testes, which is outside abdomen, it's a growth outside abdomen. It hangs in between the two thighs, and then you see it's a skin sac, which is known as scrotal sac or scrotum. Inside there, the two testes are there, and then the function is the production of sperm, production of sperm in male sperm. Well, you know, during the warm days, if you have noticed by touching your testes that it hangs little more down. Why you know? Because the sperm requires an optimum temperature. More than that temperature the sperm dies, and very less than that temperature also the sperm dies. So what happens, you know, it remains during the hot time now, hot weather. What happens, you know, they remains a little bit away from the body. That is why they sag. They sag, you see, if you see it's biology, so there is nothing to feel ashamed. It sags, goes away from the body. Because to keep the temperature controlled. Because if they are stuck with the body, the 37 degree Celsius is a very good temperature which can kill the sperm. So that is why they sag. During the winter, they come and we see the scrotal sacs are tight and towards the body because they need the temperatures, optimum temperature to be alive, and that is why it's happening. So during the summer, the testis sacs in the scrotal sac. During the winter, they are tight because they need some more temperature. Well, there is epididymis, which is a confounded structure and stores the matured sperm. Sperm is produced, matured sperm is kept by the epididymis. And then we have the first difference. It transports the sperm. It transports the sperm from epididymis to the urethra. Because the sperm will go and it will come, and in the course of the reproduction it will be ejaculated, and that sperm will go, and then the fertilization will be done. But it is later on in the penis. The valve differences transport the sperm from the epididymis to the urethra, and there is a seminal vesicle which helps to do that. Well, the next is the penis. Penis is a protruding and an outgrowth, a muscular outgrowth in which there is a direct pipe which comes right from, and it is having a valve-like structure and which controls the movement of the sperm. That means the semen. The semen is the fluid by which the sperms come. It's a milky nature. And the other one is the urine. A male cannot do urination and releasing the sperm together by releasing the semen. So that is the valve which controls it. And the urine is controlled by the prostate gland that I am coming later on to see. Well, you see, the penis is sperm from the male to female vagina, it grows and is milky in nature. Then we have the prostate gland which controls the urine, and then the cowper's gland which also helps in the total process of the reproductive system. Well, we have the female reproductive system, and the female reproductive system is as follows: the ovary, oviduct, uterus, vagina, and vulva. These are the parts on which we come to know about the ovary. Produces ovum. Ovary are two in structure. Both one is left side and the one is right side. And they do not produce the ova at a time. They produce the ova one at a time, and then it comes to slowly and gradually. Ovary produces ova two, and it is every month, because after 28 days there is a cycle comes out to clean the whole thing for the system, which is called the female reproductive system, which is known as the menstruation. In the menstruation, whatever, it continues, it comes as with the 28 days to 30 days, and it lasts 3 to 5 days. And in 3 to 5 days, whatever the ova was deposited, if it is not fertilized, it goes rotten. Slowly and gradually it goes rotten. And all those rotten eggs, along with the follicle and whatever the mucus layers are there, all they are coming out and decaying out and coming out through the vagina, which is known as the menstrual cycle. And it is done by the body itself, because to clean and cleanse the whole system so that the new ova will be sent to wait for the fertilization. So that happens there, and then as soon as the menstrual cycle is over, that is the time to be getting the pregnancy. Right? So, oviduct or fallopian tube is there, this is funnel-like tube, two are there, and leads to the uterus. They come and leads to the uterus. Ova is coming through the oviduct to the fallopian tube or uterus. And from there, they are entering the vagina and communicate the uterus. What happens, the ova comes out from the female reproductive organ, and they wait, and then in the course of time, up till it is having the power to fertilize, if there is a mating along with the male, and if the sperm comes and enters the ovum, then a fertilization is occurred. It happens like that. The sperm is almost like this. When it comes, this ovum comes, the sperm comes through and it hits the ovum like this. This is the sperm. Now, if this is the situation, no fertilization occurs. Then what is happening, dynamically, if it is the ovum, the sperm should go like that inside up till the head. Then what will happen? This will be closed and the tail will be detached off. So this is fertilization. So there the fertilization occurs, and then after the fertilizations, the cell is known as the zygote. Z-Y-G-O-T. It is nothing but the fertilized male and female unit. That means sperm and the ovum. Then sometimes or some days it remains movable, but after some days it implants itself into the uterus, and because the movement for that is not good, for the movement there can be an injury and threatened abortion will be there. So the total zygote will be destroyed. So that is why they hit themselves into the uterus and they are implanted. And as they are implanted, then the complete gestation or growth metamorphosis starts. And slowly and gradually they develop, and slowly and gradually the zygote divides in various ways to form the different body organs and all those, and it looks like a small baby which is known as fetus. The fetus in the beginning, all the stay inside and it is connected to the mother's umbilical cord. Through the umbilical cord all the nutrition and all those goes, and slowly and gradually all the organs and all those are grown, and it takes 9+ months, and this is known as the gestation period. And this gestation period, what happens, you know, the growth is complete, and after the 9th month, so the fetus is mature as the baby, and finally it comes out as the male baby. Well, children, what was the discussion about it? The fertilization, the development starts. So development starts, you see the development, the zygote by cell differentiation divides from the fetus, and the fetus is there attached to the placenta cord, and the placenta cord is also known as the umbilical cord. From there, a sac is there. This sac is known as the amnion, and it is there. The complete thing is there in the amniotic fluid, and this total is known as the gestation period. After the gestation period, the growth and development comes. As in the infancy, the child grows up to 2 years, from mother's birth to 2 years. That is infancy. Mother takes care, and it is mostly fed by the mother's mammary gland, milk. And then in childhood it goes up to 12 years, from the 2 years to 12 years. And there are also parental care and the care of the home of different illness and all is required for the growth of a child, and thus it grows properly physically and mentally. Then comes to adolescence. In adolescence, it starts from 12 years to 18 years, and what happens, the adolescence is nothing but from the childhood to adulthood. That means the maturity goes. Various physical, mental, biological changes occur, and then he or she changes to be an adult so that they can reproduce. Preparation for the reproduction stage, that is. So all those organs are mature, becomes mature, and they all act as the hormonal changes occur. And these hormonal changes are together known as the puberty. During the puberty, they are ready for the next stage. That means having the reproduction. And then adulthood, 18 years in females and 20+ years in male. And that continues in female. It is followed by the menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle, that means the first menstrual cycle that starts is known as the menarche, and when the menstrual cycle stops finally at the age of 45+ years, then that is known as menopause. So this is the period when the menstrual cycle is there. Female is capable of having the reproduction. While in male it is not like that. It can go as long as the sperm is produced. So that goes like that, and then comes to the middle age. In the middle age, people starts from 50 years and onwards, and after that comes the old age. And the old age, slowly and gradually, the various activity is reduces and ceases, and finally the human beings attain the the stage is known as death. So this is actually the chapter reproduction in animals. I think you have studied. Once again I say, the animals reproduce asexually also, that I told you, amoeba and all those. And in higher animals, many animals reproduce sexually, cow, dog, etc. And most higher animal is human beings that also reproduces, and the human reproduction has been discussed. Now, children, I think you have gone through it nicely. Now, whatever the questions are given in your exercise, all the question answers has already been answered in your website called www.bsnes.in. Except of that, I am discussing some questions here, and you just listen to it, and if you can write this down. And here we will start with the very short answers. Question number 1. The answer is the fusion of egg and sperm is known as a fertilization. Question number 2. The answer, when the fusion of male and female gametes occur outside the body of the female, it is called the external fertilization, and it happens in mosquito and all those. And human beings, it's absolutely internal fertilization. All the, most of the mammals do like that. Well, the organisms, the organs of reproduction is in male reproductive system. Male organs are testes, epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicles, penis, prostate gland, and Cowper's gland. Cowper's gland, a gland which is present inside the prostate gland, which controls and releases some protein which helps the smoothness and for the secretion of the semen. Well, and then the female reproductive system are ovary, oviduct or fallopian tube, then uterus and vagina. Well, next is the question number 4. The male reproductive part where sperm is stored is known as epididymis. It is a compounded structure. And question number 5. 2 male hormones are testosterone and luteinizing hormones. Well, the 2 female hormones are estrogen and progesterone. Well, short answers: the external fertilization, the fusion of the male and female gametes occur outside the female body of the female, while the internal fertilization, it occurs inside the body of the female, and the fusion of male and female gametes take place there. Next question is question number 2. The epididymis is a convoluted structure and stores the male sperms. Question number 3. The semen is a mixture of the sperms and secretions from the various glands of male reproductive system. Question number 4. The time between the fertilization and birth is called the pregnancy. And question number 5. Uterus, the development of the baby, protects the nourishment and development of the embryo is done here. Now, scrotum, the function is the skin sac where the testis is located. Umbilical cord, the cord, like structure by which the fetus is connected to the placenta. Now we come to long answer question. The production of the new, question number 1, the production of the new organisms from the existing organisms of the same species is known as the reproduction. In asexual reproduction, involvement of and fusion of the 2 gametes, male and female, does not occur. Well, while in sexual reproduction, the male and female gametes undergo fusion to produce embryo. Question number 2. The male reproductive system consists of testis, epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicles, penis, prostate gland, and Cowper's gland. Testis 2 in number, located outside the abdominal cavity, skin-like sac called scrotal sac is found. Function: production of the sperm. Epididymis, convoluted structure, stores the sperm. Vas deferens transport the sperms from the epididymis to the urethra. The penis, the male sex external organ, transports the semen from the male into the vagina of the female. Female reproductive organ system consists of the ovary, oviduct, uterus, vagina and vulva. Ovary, either side of the uterus are present, that is left and right side. 2 in number, produces 1 mature ovum every month, known as an ovulation. And then oviduct or fallopian tube, the funnel-shaped muscular tubes, 2 in number and led to uterus. Ova is received here and transferred to uterus by the fallopian tubes. And uterus is the womb where the wide hollow structure and in the abdomen ends open into the fallopian tube. Lower narrow end is known as the cervix. The development of the baby takes place here and protects and nourishes the embryo, the baby or fetus. The vagina, the uterus communicates with the outside through a tube called the tube-like structures called vagina. It connects the cervix and the opens outside to the vagina. Question number 4. An embryo is attached to the uterus by a structure known as placenta. It supplies the essential nutrients and oxygen to the developing embryo. It permits the antibodies to go into the fetal blood from the mother's blood. The metabolic products such as the carbon dioxide diffuses out through the placenta. The physical changes that take place as follows. The infancy, 1 to 2 years of age. They grow rapidly, speak 1 or 2 words, sit and stand, recognize mother and father. Next is childhood. In childhood, this period lasts for 12 years of age, and then physical changes take place, grow intellectually, emotionally and socially. And adulthood starts from 18 years and onwards in female and 20 years onwards for male. And the characterized by the full development of all the body structures and contains the best till 30 years. Now, before that, there is the stage from where the baby to the adulthood is coming. That means the male and female gets the sexual maturity, that is known as adolescence. So, is that all clear, my dear? And all the other questions you get in the website of the school, www.bsnes.in. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.